Welcome back to Suladan Plays Dark Souls 2. Last time we dealt with Sin of the... hello there, sir. Sir, please know, we finished off Sin, the slumbering Drugan. And this time, well, and we talked to Vendrick and, you know, you've got the 3 crowns, unhollowable who's-its. But now we must go and meet with Vendrick in his hollowed state. Trying to keep my stamina up, for obvious reasons. Hello, friendos. I think it hit its max range at the perfect point. I don't know. I'm not gonna... I think didn't we get Giant Soul? Yeah, we went through the memories. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and start this. I wonder if the butterfly thing can aggro him or not. He's probably almost immune to poison, and this is gonna take forever, so let's not. He's also not gonna hold still for me, is he? Well, you've gotta hit him enough to aggro him. Now he's a boss. That's the overhead. I don't remember all of his hits, but I know he hits hard. Second swing. Third swing! Let's not power stance hit any more than we need to. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't expect the third one. I knew the second one was likely coming, hence the roll, but I don't know if I tried to roll or not, because the third one. The fact that these rocks respawn is a minor annoyance, depending on what weapon you're wielding. If you're wielding a partisan, then you just, you know, R2 and sweep the whole area just about. I like that your bloodstain is always on the outside of that room. Hello, Saz. Vendrick's not really that hard to fight. It's just kind of slow, tedious, and he hits like a truck. But it's not through sheer challenge of himself. I'm gonna try to get this over with as quickly as possible. I'm dead. For some reason, my roll got stuck on his foot. It's being one of those days. At least compared to some bosses, his walk of shame, so to speak, is fairly short and event-free. I didn't know you could do a jump. That's... I like to have that back and forth with an enemy, not feel like one of us could curb stomp the other one, or one mistake and you're dead. But, you know, it does depend on the enemy. It makes sense for Vendrick to be strong. Especially given how easy he is to, like, avoid if you pay any competent attention. This is kind of the Gwyn of Dark Souls 2. I think that's what they were aiming for, was, you know, after all the trouble you've gone through to finally find Vendrick, it turns out that, you know, he's hollowed and just wandering around, and therefore doesn't have the answers you seek. But they also made him very durable and had the whole Giant Soul side quest and all, which is interesting and unique. Oh, dear. I overestimated my roll a little bit there. Sorry for being a little less enthusiastic about this. This is, one, to me, a boring boss fight. I love the theme and the story behind it, but, it doesn't... The fight with Vendrick lacks replay value, because once that big payoff of, you know, you meeting him and having to fight him and all is gone, it's just... He's a walking one-hit... You know, it's a slow and tedious boss fight once that grandeur is gone. And the fact that anything that can one-shot me is always going to be a little less interesting for me. Okay, not always. There are certain instances depending on the game and the style. But also, it's been oppressively warm. It's hot, it's been a slightly long day, and I'm more interested in fighting the Throne Watcher and Defender, so I'm probably not as enthused about Vendrick as I could be. I don't like when he leaps back because he can run forward and do the big sweep. I have a better time dodging the sweep when I'm beside or behind him. Because I can just, you know, do that. But when he runs forward at you, it's a little bit hard to tell when the sweep is going to initiate, so timing the roll becomes a little harder. Second swing. Sweep. Oh, that could have gone worse. I win. But yeah, it's partially because you spend the whole fight kind of looking forward to the fight to come. I gotta take this off because I remember she's gonna appear up there. Meh? No, she appeared up there after you talked the first time. Now the fun part is oh, now I remember where it's at. I always forget where the Throne of Want is. I forget it's in the Drangleic Castle, in that King's Door, like right by the bonfire. But yeah, it's like 82 degrees in here at the moment. I mean, it's not that bad for me. I feel bad for the computer when it gets this hot, because the fans have to work harder. I'd really love to get that last level up, I know I don't have enough souls for it. I mean, I forget what a great heroes were. 20,000? 60,000? And I need 200. No, boss souls are not for using. I've never been good at using those. I always stash them away and say, maybe I'll want to turn that into a weapon. It's any limited item. Like, I am that one person, well, probably not one person, like, if there's only one of an item in a game, and not counting games where when you beat the final boss it rewinds, so you can use it on the final boss and then rewind and use it again and rewind. Like, Pokemon Gold, never use the Sacred Ash, is the main example I like to pull for that. It's like, I generally don't use limited items. It was actually my second playthrough of Dark Souls that I even started using the soul items that you find. Because I would just stockpile them and then stare at them and like, I'm not using you. You're limited. Of course, that one, even I'll admit, was going a bit too far. Hello, Hyde Knight. I forget y'all are here. Come on. Boop you. Nope! But he'll boop himself. Congratulations! You have way too... That is one of the primary things that I know a lot of people complained about in Dark Souls 2 is, overhead swing attacks from enemies have, specifically overhead swings, have obnoxious levels of laser precise tracking. Like when an enemy will, on his heels, spin 180 degrees with an overhead swing with a weapon bigger than him to hit you behind him, it's just... it's immersion breaking, really. It's unpleasant. It makes kiting just unrealistically difficult. When they're not attacking, it makes sense. But see, like this guy, he's got a limit to how far he can turn with his swings. That generally works. In Dark Souls 1, it was a problem, though, because there were many enemies that were weaker than they should have been, namely the Black Knights, because if you just kept circling around them, they had no way to deal with you. I've seen a webcomic somewhere that made a joke about it, that in Dark Souls 2, they've secretly got giant magnets welded to the end of their weapons so they can find you. But yeah, the overhead, it stands out so much because when you see their character model just swing around instantly like that, it's kind of comical, but it's annoying to deal with. I should probably quit rambling here so that I can jump cut over all this. Never did undo this guy. Let's see what's up here. I kind of half remember what's up there, but in basic Dark Souls 2 and PlayStation 3 Scholar, he's not there. You can just freely come up here. That guy wasn't there. Hello, Mammoth. I don't know what that was. He couldn't figure out what he wanted to do. That's a shard, and that would have been useful. Damaged door. That better not have been all that was up here. Mammoth and an Estus. Knight armor. Actually, I know of a better place I could be getting souls. This is the one distinct downside to me running through areas and not killing stuff, is I'm probably a few levels further behind than I would have been otherwise. Not that it makes a huge difference. At this juncture. Seldora robe. It's nice to have the whole Seldora set. You can farm for souls.
Bearer until...
Level up. Yay, level 240. I'm gonna go ahead and buy some life gems.
Thank you.
Okay. King's Gate. I guess it makes sense that the Throne of Want is in the castle. You know, I didn't think about that. Okay, item box. There we go, get that out of the way. And... Goomba over here doesn't do... Oh no, my poison! My poison! It aggravated him. I'm sorry, sir. I forgot that my wings, they be poisonous. Can we have a truce? Oh, that's right, she is here. No, sir. Back off! You know what I don't want to deal with? You! Mr. Pivot Hips. Okay, this is glorious. I'll let that one slide because that's actually pretty funny. The life gem actually just ceased to function when I hit max health. Huh. I didn't know that. I thought they would keep working. Yes, take the time to take the time.
My journey is already complete. My name is Shanalot. The dragon gave me this name. I was born of dragons, by ones who would cozen fate herself, but they failed. I did not come out as intended. Fate would not be bested. If you proceed, Nashandra will come after you, knowing that you will take the throne and link the fire. She covets the first flame, and the great soul. Put Nashandra to rest.
Okay. Okay. Next. Oh, let's not walk off the cliff. How many people have died there? It's a very beautifully designed area. Still wonder exactly what it is. Like, why does it look the way it look? Is it the remnants of the kiln? Or is it something different entirely? I do have the, yeah, Giant's Kinship. Wait, grants access to the what? Throne room beneath the castle. I thought that's where this was. And I thought I just used the King's Ring to get in here. Bradley. Been hot, my friend. You're coming with me. I thought, Vengarl would be here too. But Ben Hot has to come, for Bellhead and Ben Hot are close friends. And now I get to deal with you two. Hey, I got your shield. Ben Hot, you are not distracting them very well. I need you to focus one of them, so that I can fight the other one. Bellhead wants to punch you, but you are so nimble you will not remain in punch range. Ben Hart. Your job is to keep the defender off of me. The defender is not off of me. Am I wearing the red eye ring and I just don't know it yet? Aha, there we go, now we're getting them both down. Remember, if you take down one without the other, you've only got so long before they'll revive their fallen team member. Oh, poor Ben Hart, now he's getting focused. Now I'm getting focused. Make up your mind! Oh dear, I forgot, y'all have weapon enchants too. One-shot it. Love being one-shotted. And by one-shotted, I know I wasn't at full health, so I technically wasn't one-shotted. This annoys me, because if I want to use any other ring, it means that every time I die, I've got to start, go through my menu, change equipment, and it's just a mildly annoying procedure. And partly because I'd like to get this dealt with, I'm gonna try summoning both of them. I really don't like that I keep having to rely on summons, but like I mentioned before, partly this Let's Play is dragging on and I'd really love to get to Dark Souls 3, and partly it's a multi-enemy boss and I'd really rather not deal with trying to drag this out longer than it needs to be by having to kite them eternally. Because they both decide that I'm the more interesting person to fight here. Old Guard appears to be a cleric. I heard cleric sounds. You walked into that, Watcher. Like, you're supposed to be the Watcher. Like, I'm a guy wearing a bell on his head. Okay, if I can get the Defender weakened a bit more. I don't know who's firing that off. Oh, I was about to say, so help me if I die right there. Yay, Ben Hart, my friend. Oh no, I have summons. I can't feather out.
Brave undead, you have proven yourself to me. Now, be one with the dark.
Two things I'd like to point out. One, she actually has a tiara on. Two, she's what happens when Nito and Manus are combined into one. And three, I remember that I can destroy these. The problem is the amount of damage and curse buildup they do before I get it destroyed. I can't feather out because I have. Wait, I think she has a exploder attack too. I need to be careful of. I think most bosses do in this game. It's the you've been standing on me too long. I need you to give me some space. I love that this fight, although it's multiple bosses, that any you defeat stay defeated, like on subsequent attempts. I think she's spawning those, yep. I mean, they're basically life drain patches. That one I can't get to, that's not good. That one I can. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's the exploder do, everybody! What I was saying was I do love that any boss previously defeated remains defeated in this. We gotta remember to come down here and switch the King's Ring on. I'm just not fond of the having to do that part. Anything that involves me having to stop and re-equip myself, especially when done for, like, opening a door. Benhot's coming with me still. I like having him around for, like, just plot roleplay reasons, whatever you want to call it. Because Benhot is my friend. He reminds me of the Scotsman. Just with a... I don't know, he's got a big magic sword. So yeah, we're skipping the intro. See, technically what you should do is after each one back off a little bit so that you don't get cursed. But what I like to do is just, you know, take them down. That would have hurt. You don't want to leave them lying around because they have a tendency to, if you miss position, you'll end up stuck under one or near enough to one in a bad moment that you take a lot of damage. You know, I think I can actually punch her. Her hitbox is big enough and she holds still. Attacks that can do that also bother me slightly. It knocks you down, but also lasts long enough to hit you again just for insult to injury. I'm gonna be honest, that offends me slightly. I did the Chuck Norris kick and flew past it and cursed myself. Ma'am, I'm trying to deal with your life drain patches. Can you hold your horses? Back, 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 back. Back, ma'am. Yeah, I'm taking you down. I'm not dealing with those. And no, I'm out of here. I will deal with all of you next time. I could go ahead and just push. I don't know. Should I? I'll give it a shot. Let's see. It depends on how long it takes me to fight him. I could go ahead and push for the ending, and that would be, you know, a week sooner on me starting Dark Souls 3. I'm really looking forward to Dark Souls 3. It's, Dark Souls 3 is the first Souls game that I'm going to be Let's Playing that I am completely blind on. I've never played it before, so I don't know anything about it, and that makes it infinitely more interesting as a Let's Play when the player doesn't know what they're doing. I mean, I don't mean know what you're doing as in be an expert, I just mean, like, not knowing where to go, where stuff is, how to do things. You know, there's so many things that are gonna be different. The bloodstain put a weird light on him. I thought he was a phantom for a second.
I'll be around.
I'm currently spending all of these excess souls. But Dark Souls, well, Bloodborne is also a game I have not played and really would like to play. I would also love for there to be a PC port of it, but, you know, don't get one's hopes up. There's always rumors, and they end up not being happen. I don't have a PlayStation 4. Also, another thing I'd love to see someday, and I doubt will ever happen, a remaster. Let me be more specific. A proper Dark Souls remaster, but more than that, a Demon Souls remaster packaged with all the games together as like the Souls Legacy Complete Edition with like a remastered, as in a reskinned Demon Souls, a proper remaster of Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2 with all the DLC, Dark Souls 3 with all the DLC, and Bloodborne, all like on PC as a bundle. Well, even if it wasn't on PC, even if it was a PS4 bundle. But just having all of the games on the same system, all brought together, kind of like what Metroid Prime Trilogy is, or was, prior to Metroid Prime 4 being announced. There's so many things I need to save up money for. I want Monster Hunter World when it comes out for PC. I want Metroid Prime 4. I don't have a Switch. I want Mario Odyssey. I've still not played Breath of the Wild because I don't have a Switch. I know there's a Wii U version, but, you know, apparently everybody's leaned towards the Switch version. There are many things I need to save up for, and lacking stable income makes problem. Also, buying a new console is always expensive. Okay, now it's time to deal with Aldia. Attempt to deal with Aldia. I'm trying not to drag this on for too long. Oh, Aldia.
Many models. One drowned in poison, others chugged.
The 3 DLCs.
Not one. You, conqueror.
Oh, I never noticed them. They're just standing all over there.
If you answer.
So those are the, no, those look like golems. They're not giants. Oh dear, I gotta be wary of his, only attack him when he's not on fire. There's not really a whole lot for me to shield fighting him either. This may be a proper Bonefist battle. Wow, that phantom. Get away, get away, get away! Yes, I can get one full combo out. And yeah, you can attack him during that, but I'm not running up to him during that. I don't remember all of his timing, so I'm being a little cautious while I try to remember. Just make sure he's not under. Make sure you're not under him when he does that. Back. Oh, this is glorious! I can do a proper double Bonefist fight. I don't like those. I would normally have my shield up just in case, so that if one hits me, I wouldn't get staggered. And guess what happened? I got staggered. Hey! Now you're gonna be all blazing hot. Blazing hot, all ya. Now we got the biggin. Come on, biggin, what you got? Come on, throw it. That's the reason I don't like the biggin. I remember now. No, we're not changing armor. I'll change rings, but we ain't changing armor. Bellhead Butterfly Bonefist must achieve his goals. As Bellhead Butterfly Bonefist. With Aldia, it's the big one. But due to the way it tracks, if you time your roll just wrong, it will track you enough that it hits the ground following your roll. What's the point in fire resist? Honestly, what's the point? I have all the fire resist rings I've got and it one-shots me. You know what, I'm gonna use that. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. If Jorg's ring actually manages to reflect that, it's gonna be so funny. As you can see, that's the one attack Aldia has that I have some difficulty with, is when he throws the big one, and it's either... There's a very small dodge window. If you dodge too soon, it tracks you and blows up at your feet. If you dodge too late, well, it blew up before you dodged. What was I checking? There was something I was checking. 27.3. Let's... Get me back below 25%. That might be one thing that's messing with me slightly. I don't think so, but, you know. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna stand here, apparently. Dude, that's gotta take a lot out of you. I don't know how he does that. Like, why doesn't he sink into the ground? Why does he vanish? I really want to attack him during that, but I have enough trouble dodging that without being distracted. Yeah, I could technically put on the Mask of Pharos. But again, not changing my armor. This is for Bellhead's honor. I've never upgraded that helmet. Actually, there is one thing that I should change. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. The engraved gauntlets. They look so much better with the Bonefist. The chance of critical hit weapon. The gauntlets that give crit chance. It's too bad I didn't know about them for longer. It's too bad that there's other gloves that give me souls. Normally my first desire would be to get an entire Seldora set, wear the Jester's gauntlets, and then just go through the game getting every little soul I can find. Not despawning stuff, but just like maximizing the soul gains for the stuff that you take down. I mean, the only thing Aldia can do that's a threat to me is that big blast. I mean, okay, that's not the easiest thing to dodge, but that's dodgeable. That and the fact that it explodes before it hits the ground, which occasionally throws my timing. I just really don't like that attack. If it couldn't one-shot me, I wouldn't be so annoyed by it, but it's the fact that it can one-shot me that makes it all the more unpleasant. It makes this fight feel a lot more like RNG because it's... I can kill him easily if he doesn't decide to spam that attack. And if he does, will I be lucky enough? Because the window to dodge that is so tiny. If you roll too soon, the splash damage catches you while your when your iframes run out. If even the slightest bit too late, it's already exploded, because that's literally the defining in what is too late. Well, it's exploded. My souls are underneath you, ain't they? Can I have my souls back? Can I have my stuff back? Thank you. I was close enough to the point it exploded from the ground. I'll give them that one. That was logic. That one came at an angle. That's unusual. But I'll take it. That one I like. It's fun to, you know, actually feel challenged to dodge. I mean, not saying that it's hard to dodge, I just mean, but it's more interactive than that one. That one's a grand old coin toss. Did you just sigh at me? If anybody got room to be sighing here, it's me. Almost, you know, it's over 82 degrees. I'm gonna try this and just see if maybe with this I can at least tank one hit from it. And I instantly start getting hit by things. We're about to find out. Throw it! Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Not my best plan there. Bum, bum, bum. Da-da. I don't know what I'm doing. Why? Why? Does that come out of your eye socket or is that your forehead? It's kind of hard to tell. Do we have an anatomy lesson on you, sir? Because it's a little hard to tell where your head ends and the branches and the flames begin. You can see his eye and his nose, but other bits are a little harder to differentiate. I can do decent damage with that. The shield's mostly to see if I can, if I miss, can I tank the hit? And that's only if I don't successfully roll, because if it hits me after my iframes, my shield won't be up. That would be just if I fail to roll quick enough. Whoa, you looped back at me. Oh dear, oh dear. I don't know what just happened. Went into panic mode. Panic mode successful. I apologize in advance, this is probably going to be a quite long episode, but it's also the finale. Oh dear. I mean, I think I'm doing pretty competent damage there. Let's see if I can get an opening. Nope. Well, I got one hit. I could have gotten two. Hindsight. It'd be kind of neat if those roots lingered a little longer and you had a chance to punch them. Like if they became a temporary weak point. He's also more armored when he's flaming. I think that's partly why the, when I did the double-handed Bonefist Kamehameha thing, or Hadoken, or whatever, why it... Was there 5 of those? Did I miscount? Why it only did 35 damage. Because he's got a lot higher resistances when his flames are up. Especially when they're up like they are now. They've been stoked. At least he doesn't have, Oh, imagine if he had the Smelter Demon, like, where you were constantly taking damage. Not just for being on top of him, but, like, even at this range. And if the room wasn't so big, and if he didn't fight you at a distance to start with. He's kind of a ranged fighter, so the Smelter Demon burn aura wouldn't work. You gotta be extra careful when his flames are stoked. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm not. Oh man, I could have done it too. Oh dear, here comes the fire pillars. If you're lucky, you get an opening there. And that was a perfect opening too. Here comes roots. Nope. Well, I mean, yes, but not the ones I was referring to. I thought he was sending out the root chain. Oh dear. What's gonna be bad is when I pull a gaping dragon and walk off the cliff over there. It would be nice if you could zoom, like, change how far from the character the camera is. Like in boss fights, to pull it back, it would fix a lot of the camera targeting issues on larger bosses, or bosses that you end up underneath, like Sin. That's why you've got to be extra careful when he's got the flames stoked. It's just how quickly it'll shred your health. I don't know if even having high fire resistance will help you at that point. You've seen how fire resistance... Well, I didn't have fire resist armor on, but the rings sure didn't stop that from one-shotting me. And you do have a moment when the flames come up before they start damaging you. Which is kind of realistic. I mean, you can stick your arm in a fire for like a moment before it actually begins to... before it builds up enough heat to actually begin doing damage. Oh man, I could agree to that. I could have finished you off. Right there. And all you've got to do is use the big fireball and me miss my timing. I win! Bellhead Bonefist! Bellhead Butterfly Bonefist has achieved his punch. Huzzah! And now we've got the choice to make.
I love heaven and remain here patiently. The throne will certainly receive you, but the question remains, What do you want? Tell me. Light, dark, or something else entirely?
Since last time I did that ending, and I've honestly never done this other ending, I figure, for the Let's Play especially, it's best that we show both endings. So I'm gonna go with this one. I don't even know what this ending does. Also, I love the stacked voice effect they have for Aldea, where you can hear a woman's voice, a man's voice. It reminds me of the Mini in System Shock 2, and I am rambling, and apparently my manic energy has kicked in. But proceed to the throne!
You who link the fire. You who bear the curse. Once the fire is linked, souls will flourish anew, and all of this will play out again. It is your choice to embrace or renounce this. Great Sovereign, take your throne. What lies ahead, only you can see.
And there's the credits. Okay. So many things I wanted to ramble about. One, beautiful cutscene. Never seen that before. Kind of feel bad for the golems slamming into each other like that, but I guess they're hard-headed enough to take that. Oh, yes. Minor critique. In the animation watching him walk across, his feet repeatedly clipped through the golems. Like, I don't even have unusual boots on in terms of them affecting the player's model enough. But, yeah, that appears to have been a slight thing. Ending I've never seen before. And also, in the original Dark Souls 2, that was the only ending. They added the choice later. Because Aldea wasn't in the... I mean, the NPC you interact with as Aldea wasn't in the original. I assume he was still mentioned in the lore, but... all in all, I think Dark Souls 2 is a beautiful installment in the Souls franchise. I know it gets a lot of negativity. It's a bit of a divisive issue. There are things that it did badly. There are things that it did beautifully. There are things that it did okay. So much of it depends on the perspective, and having played, well, I've never finished, but having played Demon's Souls and Dark Souls 1, I do see where they attempted to take aspects from both of them. And in many of these cases, they did beautifully. I loved that the hollowing was a step-by-step procedure instead of an instant 100% to 50% health. Demon's Souls had that process, but it was much harder to regain your humanity. So it was a problem to me then. In Demon's Souls, it added 4 ring slots, which was outstanding to me. I love the fine-tuned customization that having more ring slots allows. Because in Dark Souls 1, and I think 3 went back to the 2-ring system, I don't know. I'm assuming it did. Having 2 ring slots messes with variability because in a lot of times you end up with, well, Chloranthy ring is a must, and the ring of favor and protection is a must, so, well, you've got no more ring slots. Stinks to be you. With 4 ring slots, I had more room to have Chloranthy and the Silver Serpent Ring and what was basically the Ring of Favor and Protection minus the breaking effect, the Dragon Ring, and then a 4th. You know, it allows more build flexibility. Like, there's dedicated mage rings, there's dedicated tank rings, there's... Dark Souls 2 had such a wide variety of armor and weapons and ideas that it truly allowed a wide range of, quote, viable builds. In terms of PvP, I've got a friend that does more PvP than I do, and he specifically said that there's a lot more viable builds in Dark Souls 2 for PvP. I know in player versus environment, anything is viable. Like I said, my friend did a run where he used nothing but the ladle. So, I mean, you can win with anything, but it had such a wide variety of weapons and styles. It had power stancing, which I don't think continued past Dark Souls 2. I think 3 uses a different system, but I don't know. I don't know enough about it to have any inkling of a guess there. I'll find out. I do think there were certain things in the power stancing system that could have been done slightly differently, but given what it is, they did a great job with it. It would have been something that would probably be polished in a future game had they continued using that system, because that's what you do in design. You try new things. Some of it's, you throw stuff at the wall. Some of it's going to fall off and be horrible, but some of it's going to stick and be glorious. Dark Souls 2's hub structure was reminiscent to me of... Let me drag that volume down a bit. Ew, I don't have a mouse pointer. No! Its hub structure was more reminiscent of Demon Souls, yes. It did have an interesting and interconnected world, but there's a few fridge logic moments, like going up the elevator in the windmill and ending up in Iron Keep where there's an ocean of lava. So, like, geographically, where are these two things in relation to one another? You could say that Harvest Valley is underground in a deep cave system and all the poison gas and stuff was a result of gas pockets, but you have a sky and a windmill. You could have changed that to be a tower and, you know, actually had a stone roof, even if you went with glowing crystals or something, and you could have geographically connected these two in a unique manner. Like if Harvest Valley was basically the inside of a geode, you know, beneath Iron Keep, and all of these toxic gases gathered, and I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of ways it could have been done. But there are moments like that where you realize that it's not an interconnected world like Dark Souls 1, but it still does an amazing job at having a wide variety of beautiful environments. Each one is unique. There are times where you have to change your strategy to get around something, like the Shrine of Amana. I pity anybody that's, you know, got to deal with that without... Like, trying to take a torch through there because you can't roll is a wonderful challenge. But all in all, Dark Souls 2 to me is a very good game. Like any game, it has its shortcomings, and I don't think it deserves all the negativity that it gets from the community. I do see some design problems, but I can't find a game that there's not some design problems, so I mean, I'm not gonna dwell too much on that, but I enjoyed it. It's the first time I've ever done a New Game Plus on any Dark Souls or any Souls game. I enjoyed, you know, especially the Bonefist. You know, the whole experience was delightful for me. I know this Let's Play has dragged on very long. How do you think I feel? You get the edited version. But, I'm gonna see if I can hit a button. There we go. And, oh no! I'm not trying to poison you! It does bother me slightly you don't get any souls for beating Aldia. I still have the key to the embedded. Wow, I forgot to... I should probably go deal with that. One last sidetrack of a quest. I love that it looks like I have claws with the bone fists on. This is the way the fingers wrap around. I never did find out whether having the shield would let me tank one of those fireballs, because I ended up, just like I suspected, the one time I do, I'll dodge everything. There you go, sir. You have been freed from your unique existence. There we go. And this has been the Ballad of Bellhead Butterfly Bonefist. I am going to cut to the, technically I don't have to cut to that. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pause here. That's the end of this game, and I am going to add on to here what the total gameplay for this character is. But beyond that, next time I will begin Dark Souls 3. How do I... Oh, that's not what I'm trying to do. Yeah. See you next time. 67 hours, 58 minutes, 36 seconds. That is the total time for the Ballad of Bellhead Butterfly Bonefist. Bye.